What's going on, YouTube? I have another locals gameplay to showcase here today. We have yellow Yamato versus blue Crocodile. So funny enough, this yellow Yamato deck is straight up the starter deck. He just has it all sleeved up. But I wanted to show this game today just because it goes to show how strong having a 6k leader is, as well as when you just play vanillas on curve. So me as Crocodile, actually, I get to go first, which is awesome if I actually had Sento, but I don't have it. So I actually choose to play out my Sasaki to mulligan 5 cards in hopes of finding a Sentomaru, but I still don't. He, on his turn 4 Dawn play, second turn, plays out a 4-cost ulti, 6000 vanilla. And you'll see that this vanilla is just going to plague me for a long time. So I go 5 to leader with Sasaki, and he takes it. And I think that's probably where my first misplay is, bringing him down to 2 life so early in the game. Now that his leader is essentially 6000 every time I attack, I just need to equip a lot more Dawn, and I just don't have the board to apply pressure. So back to his turn, 6 Dawn turn. He's going to swing 6000 with leader. I'm just going to take it. 7000 with ulti. I'm going to take it. I honestly just have to keep taking everything because I want to dig into some cards to actually contest his board. Now I'm at 6 Dawn, 7 Dawn. Still don't really have plays. I do have a 3000 Worlds, so I really have to remove one of these ultis. I'm really hoping that this 8000 swing into the ulti will go down, but he just got too much card advantage from taking the 3 life early on. So he does opt to counter out with 3000. And me attacking leader and the characters are going to be the same at this point, so I'm just going to go for the board. So 6000, that's a 1k counter, and now I'm forced to 3000 Worlds one of them, because having 2 6Ks this early in the game is just so brutal. As you can see, both of us are at 2 life already. 9 Dawn turn. If he had like the 9 cost Yamatos in this deck, it would have been so good. Not this turn, but maybe the turn after, if I do end up taking 1 life from him. So he goes 6 to leader, 7 to leader, and plays out the starter deck ace. Have to check what it does. So now I am at 9 Dawn, and things are looking a lot better now, even though I'm only at 1 life. I'm just going to try to draw some more cards out of his hand by attacking the ulti. He pitches a 1k, and that's going to be a Mihawk to bottom deck the 7-drop ace. And I pay 4 Dawn to send back that ulti to hand. I am again at 1 life, so him having 2 characters on board could be a big issue. So he's at 10 Dawn, no board. I feel a lot better now. But if I don't end up drawing into blockers, or if I just don't have enough counters, or he goes wide, he could still take the game. He plays out the starter deck Odin, which on KO lets him heal 1 if he trashes 2 cards from hand. So he could just toss 2 bricks and gain a life. So he's just trying to build his board back again. I do have 3 attackers now, and finally drawn to the Sentomaru. A little too late. So I'm just going to go for his leader, 6000 leader with Pacifista, 6000 with Crocodile. Getting the cards out of his hand. At a 9000, he's just going to take that. And at this point, I have a bunch of blockers in hand. Even though I'm at 0 life, it's going to be a little struggle for him to break through without a good amount of removal. So I stack the top 5. I think I just pull up some more blockers up to the front, and I do play out a Miss All Sunday. At this point, I am still scared just because if he does have double Thunderbolt, he could still go for game. But hindsight, he only has 1 life left, so he can only Thunderbolt once. So 4,000 on top of Odin to lead. I'm just going to counter out and pick up an event card from my grave. He's going to 6,000 with leader. That should be just a 2k. If I have one. And I think that was the other issue with this game. I only had 1,000 counters and just a bunch of blockers. So it was very awkward to play this one, especially since his leader was 6,000 base on my turn. He plays out a blocker for 2 down up. So he probably has some event card. Again, I have to play out blockers every turn in order to survive the next turn. I'm 9,000ing into his Odin. He's going to tap 2 to play out a yellow Thunderbagua that actually rests my blocker. Plus 4,000, so his Odin lives. Oh no, he actually sends it back to my life. So now I feel a lot better, now that I have 1 extra life to play with. A little more wiggle room. Still have 8 down now, I believe. I can summon out 2 Missile Sundays, or 2 3-cost blockers, and I have 2 down left to play with. But I do want to get rid of that Odin, so I swing 9 at it again. He doesn't block, which could be a misplay. But I guess if he does block, I could have just swung everything with leader into it. He does trash 2 and gains back a life, but now he only has 2 cards in hand. And with 6 Dawn, I play out, should be a Missile Sunday and a Doflamingo blocker. Or, since I have 1 extra life, I could play out the the blocker Pacifista, because it has no counter, and swing 7. But instead I don't swing leader, because it's only 5,000, and I choose to do the 2 blockers, and play it safe. Stack the top 5, push up the blocker. I put a Soga King on top so I could cycle some a little deeper, maybe bounce a blocker the next turn if he plays another one. So at this point, I am feeling much better, but him having 2 4K vanillas right at the start, whereas I had no board, and his leader being 6,000, and he had a really large hand, is actually a lot of aggression, and it's pretty hard to deal with. So I'm going to let the rest of the game play out, but I appreciate y'all for watching, and catch y'all next time.